to an all new episode of On My Sports. As always, I'm the one and only John J. And today we have a special episode. They are always special, but this one in particular, oh man, I'm extra info, ladies and gentlemen. Because football is back. Yes, sir, yes, sir. We got college football. We got the NFL kicking off this week. And some Team USA FIBA news. But ladies and gentlemen, before I get into this, please, you can do me a huge solid and help this show out by dropping a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And comment down below whether you agree or disagree with a topic. Let me know about it, and your voice will get heard. But man, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start this off with some somber news. Team USA, when they announced the squad, there was a lot of people that were like, this team is definitely gonna lose. The talent isn't there. Where are the superstars? And I was one of the first ones to say that this is still a fun young team. The expectations aren't that great. I agree, but they were still fun to watch. They are still fun to watch. But unfortunately, man, they suffered their first L in the tournament against Lithuania on Sunday, 110 to 104. Now, it's not all bad news because they still qualified for the 2024 Summer Olympics by becoming one of the top two finishers for the Americas in this tournament. So it's not all bad, and they play again Tuesday, despite all of that. But it was still a bit of an upset, this doesn't feel good. Even though we know this isn't our best team, but they still represent the America. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about this loss? Are you upset about it, or are you like, yeah, whatever? We didn't expect anything from them. Or are you still hopeful that, they could turn around and still finish strong? Let me know in those comments. But I know what it is. I know what y'all all came here for, came to see, and came to talk about some football. And I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm ready. I'm ready. And we had a great Labor Day weekend kickoff with some college football. And oh my goodness, y'all know, prime time. Prime time has been the talk of the sports world with his Colorado Buffaloes coming in as a 21-point dog, and they showed up and they showed out. And what ended up being the game of the week, that was the game was fire. Like the Buffaloes ended up beating TCU 45-42, and it was a back and forth game. First half started off solid, not as fast paced as the second half, not as much scoring. I believe it was like 17-14 at the half. Even though Colorado ran a lot of plays early on, you could tell that was their thing. Quick, quick strikes, quick plays. Shout out to Travis Hunter. I think that boy's still on the field right now. He ended up with about 129 plays. It's insane. But shout out to Deion Sanders and his squad, man. Coach Prime, the Colorado Buffaloes. Despite being that dog, they came into TCU into Fort Worth, Texas, and they established their will. Deion Sanders, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. The kid broke a school passing record in his debut. That's how you kick some stuff off. Um, One thing I like to do from year to year, at the start of the college season, is I look at NFL mock drafts. I pay attention to some of the first rounders, and that's kind of who I key in on throughout the college season, and I keep a close eye on that. That's how I'm able to know a fairly decent amount of players like I am. This is what I do, and this is how I can kind of pre-scout. And one thing I noticed after this weekend's game, Shador Sanders and one of the mock drafts I looked at has climbed all the way up to a top 5 draft pick. I mean, is that crazy or no? What do you think? Let me know in those comments. Is Shador a top draft pick now, a top 5 draft pick? Now this was only one mock that I seen, but that's how it begins. Um, the kid was doing it at Jackson State already, but now he's on the main stage with a power conference. And yeah, I'm not mad at it. He put on an amazing show, and with a consistent showing, like I know he's capable of, it's not crazy to see him as a top 5, 10 draft pick next year. What do you think? Are we reaching? Um, and the same could be said about Travis Hunter. I think both of these kids are going to probably be battling it out amongst themselves for the Heisman. Uh, Travis with 119 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He plays on both sides of the ball. I just hope with him that they don't overdo it. I hope he's able to get enough rest so that he makes it through the season fully healthy. That's my only hope for the kid at this point. There's no doubt that he's got the stuff. He's got the it factor, and the kid's a budding star. Both of these guys are. So shout out to that whole squad. Deion Sanders, he came in and he tore apart that old one win team and brought in what 80 something new guys. So shout out to him. Hey, he enforced his will and it paid off. It's looking like a good run. So great start, Coach Prime. Love to see it. And to his alma mater with a big time win over LSU. A dominant win over LSU. LSU did not look the part. Florida State, everybody knows that's a team that Deion wanted to coach before he ended up in Jackson State. Maybe they made the right choice. They're looking good right now, and they look poised to make the playoffs this year. So big shout out to them. And that quarterback of theirs, Travis, um, Jared Verse, the edge rusher, somebody that's projected in the top 10 of this upcoming draft. So all eyes are gonna be on them. They looked really really good. It was close in the first half, and then the third quarter, in the second half they just ran away with it. So shout out to them. That was a well done job. And Coach Brian Kelly back to the drawing board. But moving along from there, and maybe next time I'll spend a little bit more time on college. But there's a lot to get into in the world of NFL because this week, ladies and gentlemen, it goes down. Opening week, NFL regular season is here. The fantasy football mock drafts are done. And I hope you watched last week's video and took you some good pointers and brought you home a championship winning team. I think I got me one. But we here, ladies and gentlemen. Drop a like if you're ready for some football. If you love the NFL, drop a like. Talk about it. Football is here. We got the regular season kicking off Thursday with Kansas City against the Detroit Lions. Oh my God, the Chiefs, Lions, it's here. This should be a fun, firepower filled game. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen. How excited are you for this game? Let me know in those comments. I know I'm geeked up for real. Um, but what we're gonna do in this episode, we're gonna get into just a regular season preview. I'm gonna break down all my picks for the division winners, as well as the wild card teams, and hopefully you guys follow along in those comments and leave your picks as well. Let me know if you agree with me or if I'm tripping, if I'm crazy, and also let me know what y'all thinking about the new set. Yay, nay, y'all rocking with it? Holla at your boy. Let me know. But we gonna go ahead and kick this off, man, right out the gate with the AFC East to be specific. Um, so this is a division that most people are picking to be probably the best division in football. Do you agree? Yay, nay? Let me know in those comments. Holla at me. But the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots are all poised to have strong seasons. Yes, even the Patriots are projected to improve. And I'm inclined to agree. I think there will be some improvement. Um, but yeah, a lot of teams with high hopes in this division. At least three of those teams have Super Bowl aspirations. I'm talking about Buffalo, New York Jets, and Miami. Each one of those teams, they're spending some big money. They're ready to turn that corner and cross that finish line. So let's get into it. The Buffalo Bills. That's pretty much everybody's preseason darling for the last 3 years, um, as the team to take down Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I, for one, do not follow suit. I don't think that they're ready yet. If anything, I think Cincinnati is a bigger threat. And I have thought so over the last couple of seasons, and I still feel the same way. But I do like some of the moves that Buffalo has made. But I also believe that they took a hit on defense. They lost linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, and Von Miller is starting the season on the pup list, so he's going to miss at least the first 4 weeks to kick off the season. I do like the addition of rookie tight end Dalton Kincaid. I think this is their best shot at an answer for Travis Kelsey. Now he's not Travis Kelsey. No one is. Um, Not even close. And he's still gonna need some time to develop. But this kid is a pass catching tight end, and I do think he will be really good. But I don't want to be too over the moon too soon. I want to give him his time to develop. But I do think this will be a big time weapon for Josh Allen. So that was a great find in the draft for that team. And I do think that they will have a strong season this year. Um, I think the Miami Dolphins have improved. They brought in Jalen Ramsey, and I know he's starting off the season hurt, but he'll be back. He'll be back. And the Cheetah is promising 2,000 yards. Y'all know the Cheetah love to talk. Um, Eli Apple, Jalen Waddle. I like what they did on the run game. 𝓿𝓲𝓭𝓮, the rookie, although he got hurt in the preseason. But that was a good pickup. They still got Jeff Wilson. It ended the season last year with them after getting traded from San Francisco. Um, a lot of hopes, high hopes for this team, but it all boils down to Tua. Can he stay healthy? That's the $1 million question, or $50 million question in terms of New Deal. Um, and I think improvement for this team. The Miami Dolphins started off fire last year. They looked to be a sure bet to make the playoffs until Tua's injury. So they will be in the running once again this coming season. Um, and I like to think, I'm hopeful, I guess, that Tua can finish the season healthy, at least 15 games. So yeah, I'm hopeful of that, and he has a great season and gets him a really strong deal. Get that bag, young man, get that bag. Um, the New England Patriots. They haven't made a whole lot of improvements, not a ton, but they are a little bit better. They brought in Juju Smith-Schuster. Um, they got a steal in the draft with Christian Gonzalez, a potential top five pick that fell, and another year with Mac Jones in the system. Uh, it should show some improvements, but I got this team finishing at the bottom of the division once again. Yes, improved, but not ready to take it home just yet. But ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, the team that I have winning the division. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't want to do it. I don't like to jump um, when a team wins in the off season or they get some nice players on paper. I don't usually like to jump and and take them over the team that's been dominant over the last few years. But this is different. This is already a championship caliber defense. This is already a really good young offense. You drop Aaron Rodgers in there, it's a whole nother ball game. Now, I do admit they definitely the offensive line needs to prove themselves. But Aaron Rodgers with those young weapons and a defense like that he can rely on, I think that's a game changer in this division, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think in those comments. Um, but yeah, I'm a believer at this point right now. As Stephen A. says, all the time on ESPN, it's fluid, and I gotta agree with him. This is a fluid list, but right now, yes, I got the New York Jets winning this division, um, and we'll see because the Jets and the Bills kick off the season Monday night against each other. All eyes will be on that, I'm sure. Probably one of the record-breaking Monday night footballs. So we'll see. But yeah, I got the Jets winning that division. What y'all think? Let me know. Get in those comments. Moving along, the AFC North. Now this is the division that I think will be the best in football. I think this AFC North is a problem. I see big improvement for all of these teams. The Pittsburgh Steelers, yes, yes. Kenny Pickett, George Pickens. I see improvement. I see growth and development from these guys. Um, and I see George Pickens trending towards elite status. Does he does he get there this year? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. I do think he will get the targets though. He will be the number one option over Diontae Johnson. So yeah, I think he will hit elite status this year. Um, the Cleveland Browns, I see them improving. Deshaun Watson a full off season, a full season with this team. After last year's suspension, he couldn't. It was pretty much you knew going in that he wasn't going to be able to get his footing in time to salvage a good season. But I do see him getting back to his old ways. He might not have as big a year as he did his last year playing with Houston, but I do see him turning the corner this year. I definitely see him going over 4,000 yards, and I do see them competing for a division title. They are definitely going to be in the race, and that defense, we all know how good that is, led by Myles Garrett. That defense is downright dominant. The run game with Nick Chubb, dominant. I think Amari Cooper is going to be a very good, consistent option for Deshaun. So big expectations for them. Definitely see improvement on the horizon for them. Then there are the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of people's favorites. Deshaun or not Deshaun. Lamar Jackson paid. Capital P paid. He got the bag this offseason. Then they bring in Odell Beckham. Then they bring in a rookie Zay Flowers, a guy you traded for last during the season, Roquan Smith. You pay him in the offseason. He got a bag. He's gonna happily quarterback that defense. Um, you got Mark Andrews coming back, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Bateman. A lot of eyes on the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of expectations for the Baltimore Ravens. This will be a good, fun team to watch. And it's not out of the question to think that Lamar Jackson will be a major MVP candidate coming into this season. The main thing for him is just can he finish healthy? But he's got all the pieces to. This is a real heavy Super Bowl contender, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, without a doubt. But when it comes to the division winners, I got to go with the reigning guy, the reigning team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, I love what Baltimore is doing, and they very well could take over and win this division without a doubt. It would not surprise me. But I mean, Joe Burrow and his elite trio of receivers, um, solid run game, solid defense. This is one of those teams that are just prepare yourself. They're going to be there every year. They're going to be in the conversation for a championship every year. Joe Burrow in the MVP conversation every year. Jamar Chase, best receiver in the league conversation every year. So yes, call me crazy. At me if you want. Get at me in those comments. I'm good. I don't care. I got alligator skin. I'm tough. I could take it. But I'm rocking with Cincinnati again for the division title. Who do you got winning this division? And which division do you think will be the toughest in the league this year? Once again, I think this AFC North will be the toughest division, and high expectations for the Baltimore Ravens. But I think the Cincinnati Bengals keep doing what they do. Moving on, the AFC South. Definitely not as good as the previous two divisions, but there's some intrigue here. The Jaguars and the Titans, they were neck and neck last season. Jaguars finished the season on a winning streak, and the Titans finished on a losing streak. But they were without Ryan Tannehill for a lot of those games, 5 or 6 of those games to be exact. Um, and that's, I believe, was the main reason they lost out on that division. I believe that it's going to come down again. These two teams will go back and forth. But I also want to give some love to the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Both teams will be starting rookie quarterbacks this year. So I definitely don't see them as anywhere in any way, shape, or form contenders for a division or anything else. They will be entertaining to watch. I'm a big fan of C.J. Stroud, and I like some of the weapons that Houston brought him. Tank Dell um, is a really good young receiver out of Houston, and Nico Collins. Him and Nico Collins seem to be developing a good chemistry. And then they brought in tight end Dalton Schultz from the Dallas Cowboys, who I think that will be a great help. And running back Damian Pierce had a really strong season last year, so he got some really good pieces around the kid. He got his starting left tackle, Larry Tunsil. Got him a big deal. Got him a bag this offseason, so he's ready to be a wall for the kid. But I like C.J. Stroud. I like his accuracy, and he'll get out and run if need be. But he likes to sit in that pocket, and he's really accurate. So um, I think he should have a really solid rookie campaign. But yeah, I don't think they will compete for that division. They will be trying to stay off the floor for the entire league. They're going to be trying to avoid giving Arizona a top draft pick from that draft day trade. Um, and in the Indianapolis Colts, same thing. They got some good pieces around the kid. It's unfortunate with the Jonathan Taylor situation. He's going to be out at least the first 4 games, and a lot of people think that he probably get traded sometime during the season. So it'll be a shame to not have him as a surefire weapon for Anthony Richardson, but Anthony Richardson will also get a lot of rushing yards, so it's probably for the best for Jonathan Taylor. He might not have as many rushing opportunities because of that. But Michael Pittman Jr. is a really solid receiver. They brought in Joshua Downs from North Carolina, a really solid slot receiver. Um, so I think this team is trending upward, but will still be one of the lower, probably one of the 5 to 10 worst teams. They will have a top 10 draft pick again next year. There will be some growing pains with Anthony Richardson. The physical traits are there, amongst the best in the league, but the accuracy still needs to show some improvement, and the decision making still needs to improve. The arm strength is there. All of the physical tools. I think you'll see a lot of what you saw from Justin Fields last year. I think his default will be to get out and run, and he's big enough, fast enough, and strong enough to be effective and make the offense effective because of his legs. But there will be some very low percentage passing games for him. Uh, but some good fantasy points, dual threat. The Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, yes, I do see improvement from them. One, just by Tannehill being healthy. The backup Willis seems to have improved. He seems to have had a really good offseason. So if Tannehill does go down, you don't necessarily think they'll lose as many 7 straight. You don't see them doing that again. But hopefully Tannehill stays healthy. Derrick Henry's coming back. They brought in DeAndre Hopkins, Nook, D Hop, um, Traylon Burks another year. I like this team. This is a good, solid team. Well coached. You know the defense is gonna come to play. Um, yeah, Vrabel's got him one over there, but I do think they will fall just a wee bit short in the division race to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is on the upward trend. Trevor Lawrence is trending towards elite status. He's moving up the ranks of the quarterbacks very quickly. I think he will have another big year, especially with the help of newcomer Calvin Ridley. That was a really good move, and I think Calvin Ridley's got a lot to prove. You know, he missed last season due to suspension, um, and it couldn't have come at a worse time for him because his career was trending upwards. And I think pairing him with a good young quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, the sky's the limit. They brought back Evan Ingram, gave him a nice check. Um, their running game, Travis Etienne Jr., is a highlight factory. The chemistry with him and Trevor Lawrence, all coming from Clemson together, that's already strong. So I like what this team has been doing. And they're young and they're hungry. They got a small taste of it last year, and I think they're raring to go back and well coached, by Doug Peterson. So I like this team. I think Jacksonville will repeat as a division winner in probably the more tighter races in the entire league. Um, it will come down to the wire with them and the Titans, though I do believe that. But I'm rocking with the youth. I'm rocking with the future is now movement down in Duval. Shout out to them. Um, Shout out to my co-host, my former co-host from out there, or that is currently out there, I should say. And last but not least, in the AFC, ladies and gentlemen, AFC West. And I remember last season coming into the league, coming into the year, and this is proof. this is prime proof that the game is not played on paper. Everybody and their mama said the AFC West was the division, the best division coming into last year, and it didn't happen. The Raiders fell off. The Broncos fell off. Russ didn't cook. Um, it was just the Chiefs and the Chargers. Um, I do see improvement from all those teams. The Raiders and the Broncos will be better this year. Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. Love him or hate him, it's not going to be anything sexy, but he wins. As long as he's healthy, he wins games. Josh Jacobs signed a new 1 year deal, so he'll be back. Uh, Devontae Adams, we all know he's one of the best receivers in the league. So I do see improvement from this Raiders team. They will not be a bottom five team again this year. Um, yeah, I definitely got good, strong expectations. Even the backup quarterback, if Jimmy G goes down, Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue, I think this kid is really, really good. Really, really good. And I think we will get a chance to see him this year. Brock Purdy, good. Yes. Um, then we got the Chargers, the other team that was able to compete with KC last year. The Chargers made the playoffs. Justin Herbert got him a big bag this offseason. Austin Eckler, um, he didn't quite get what he was looking for, but still super dynamic. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and newcomer receive out of TCU, Quentin Johnston. Strong trio. I like this offense for the Chargers. They're going to be really good. And that defense, as long as they're healthy, bringing back Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, um, they've got all of the tools, everything needed. This should be a legit contender. They just got to get over that hump. And I see them having a really big season again this year, and they're going to compete with KC, but I don't have them winning it. Of course, um, of course, I'm riding with KC to keep the trend going. But before I get into those Chiefs, because I know they got some turmoil that they going through as well with the Chris Jones thing. But the Broncos, I definitely think the Broncos will be improved with Coach Sean Payton. I trust his leadership a lot more than Nathaniel Hackett, who I don't hate. He kind of got a raw deal. He didn't get Russ at his best, but Sean Payton, however you look at it, is just a better coach at this point in their careers, at least. And I do think he will get more out of Russell Wilson. They also were able to make some nice free agent additions. They brought in some defensive line help. They brought in some offensive line help. So this team will definitely be improved. They will not be a bottom feeder like they were last year. But all in all, like I said, Casey, Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, probably the best player in the league. Um, Travis Kelsey, best tight end. A nice, solid group of receivers across the board. I think Sky Moore will have an improved season in year two. I also like rookie Rasheed Rice out of SMU. I think he is going to be a really solid weapon for Pat Mahomes once he builds some trust with him. Kadarius Toney's got all the talent in the world, but can he stay healthy? That's the biggest question mark for him. Then MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he was, I think, was a strong newcomer for them last year. So it's really gonna come down to what happens with Chris Jones' situation. Do they pay him? Does he end up holding out? Well, he's not gonna get paid. We pretty much know that at this point. How long does he hold out? That's the question. Does he get traded at midway through the season? That's another big question, and that's gonna matter tremendously with KC's title hopes. They need Chris Jones. I definitely believe um, if they're gonna compete for another championship. But yeah, I got the Kansas City Chiefs repeating and winning that division once again. What y'all think? Get at me in those comments. You got somebody else? Am I totally wrong in that? Holla at your boy. Now let's venture over to the NFC. You know what I'm saying? The NFC. You know, they saying this division or this conference, excuse me, is inferior to the AFC. And probably right. The AFC has got all the quarterbacks. They got a lot of people over there. But I think the NFC's got the defenses. Some really good defenses over here. And most of those strong defenses are in this division. That is probably going to be the best division in the NFC this year. I'm talking about the NFC East. No more NFC least. This is the premier division. The Washington Commanders, I think, will be improved. The New York Giants will be improved. They got some more weapons. The Dallas Cowboys, another year together, healthy. Uh, I think they will be strong. Another big year for them. And then, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. The rich just keep getting richer. I'm out here with a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans, and they don't like to hear the love for the Eagles, but I don't think it's gonna stop. I'm sorry. Um, but let's talk about the Commanders. Sam Howell got a chance to play late in the season last year. We didn't really fully get a chance to see what he could do. We saw a little bit of him in the preseason, but I think this kid's got something. He's got a little something. They got some weapons over there with Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson. They got some pieces. That defense is always strong. And then they're bringing in offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy from the champion Kansas City Chiefs. If they can buy in to what Bieniemy is preaching, this could be a scary team. Um, you know how it is with the great unknowns like a Sam Howell. We don't really know what we have just yet. But that also means a lot of the league they don't have him scouted, and this can work wonders for the young Howell. So I think the Commanders they might be fun to watch. This is probably the first time I ever remember saying that. I've never been a big fan of watching the Washington football, but this year I think I will be. I like these pieces that they got. Right along with them, the New York Giants. While I'm not the biggest Danny Dimes fan, uh, he he's solid. He's athletic. Um, and he has some decent accuracy. Danny Dimes. You get that nickname for a reason. And they brought in some help with Darren Waller out of the from the Las Vegas Raiders, tight end. Um, they also brought in a rookie receiver from Tennessee that I like a lot, Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt. That is the receiver out of Tennessee. Um, a slot receiver who had a lot of big production last year in the SEC. Then of course Saquon. Saquon came back on a 1 year deal. So and this is a team that made the playoffs last year. So a lot of expectations. They had the coach of the year and Brian Dable. So this team will have some real serious expectations coming into this year. I do think they will be good once again. Another team with high expectations. They keep high expectations. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and they got a really good team. They got a really good team, and it all comes down to Dak Prescott. And this year, Kellen Moore, his offensive coordinator, is gone. Mike McCarthy is calling plays, and he's going to be putting a lot on Dak's shoulders. Can he handle it? We shall see. I mean, this defense, elite. Um, Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn. I like the running game. Um, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks. A lot of talk about the rookie tight end out of Michigan, Luke Schumacher. This is a really, really good team. And it all just comes down to Dak. He will make or break everything for this team. Micah Parsons, probably a favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year if I'm voting. I think preseason, at least leading and going into the season, this is probably my favorite to win that award this year. What are your thoughts on that? Who do you got winning it? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, The Dallas Cowboys. They got a really good team. They're a serious contender. Um, and then last but not least, the Philadelphia Eagles, who is the one that I think will win this division ultimately. I think they're just too good. Not to take away from the Cowboys, the Eagles are just they're just so good. So many weapons. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. They brought in DeAndre Swift. Oh, this team is so good. Jalen Hurts, another year in the offense, another chance to improve. Then the weapons they brought in on defense, of course, Jalen Carter, rookie out of Georgia, Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is probably my pick for defensive rookie of the year. Yes, you pin his ears back, he gonna go. He is a problem. So yes, I got the Philadelphia Eagles winning that division once again. Add me in the comments. Who do you got winning the NFC East this year, ladies and gentlemen? All right, my favorite division, cause y'all know I'm a Chicago guy. So the NFC North. This is one I'm excited to talk about, and it's I know y'all gonna be adding me in those comments big time on this one, cause I mean it is what it is. But let's look at it. Let's start off with the Green Bay Packers. Oh, and excuse me, I forgot something. My apologies. Um, I promised wild card teams, and I did not give you my AFC wild card teams of yet. So the AFC wild card teams I have are the Buffalo Bills, the LA Chargers, and the Baltimore Ravens. So yes, I got the Miami Dolphins falling short and missing the playoffs, as well as the Tennessee Titans. I'm sorry, it is what it is. It's just too much to choose from. The AFC is loaded. But I regress. I digress. Back to the NFC North. Green Bay Packers. All right. Everybody knows I'm a Bears fan, but I'm not gonna sit here and bash the Packers. I'm gonna give everybody their just dues, and I think this Green Bay Packers team will be better than advertised. Um, Jordan Love, there isn't a whole lot of tape out on him, but there is some good tape and some good things that he's doing. Um, I like the time that he spent in the off season, running that offense with some off season workouts with his teammates and coordinating these workouts. Um, I like that he'll the chemistry that he's building with Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson. Probably more so with Romeo Dobbs, but I like Christian Watson, and I think he's the better receiver. But some good young weapons over there, as well as the running game, Dillon and Aaron Jones. They still got a good defense, led by Jair Alexander at corner. This is a good young team, and I think Jordan Love will have a solid season. Yes, there will be no Packer bashing here. This is a good team, underrated team. Um, Moving along, the team that everybody is talking about, the Darlings, that's going to kick off the season this Thursday, is the Detroit Lions. A lot of expectations for the Lions, and well deserved. They finished the season last year strong. Jared Goff had a really good year. Um, and I really, really love what they've done with the running game. David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, that's a duo. That's a nice smash and dash duo. I think Jameer Gibbs is going to double as a receiver. He's going to get a lot of targets in this offense. He might be probably the offensive MVP for that team. Um, Even with Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And yes, Jamison Williams, he's got that suspension. He's going to start off the season without the team with the gambling suspension. So, yes, I understand that. But this team's got some firepower. That running game is going to be elite. And then I can't forget about rookie tight end out of Iowa, Sam Laporta. I got very high expectations for him as well. I think he's going to be really, really good. So I like this Lions team a lot. They're going to be fun to watch. but they're going to give up a lot of points. They didn't do enough on that defense, in my opinion. So that's gonna be a big issue for them. Um, and the Minnesota Vikings, the team that won the division last year, this team won 12 games last year, and no one is giving them a shot. It's crazy. Um, Quarterback Kirk Cousins heading into the final year of his deal. You got Justin Jefferson proving himself to be one of the best players in the league. And then rookie receiver Jordan Addison, I think, is going to be really, really good. This team just keeps getting richer in terms of finding wide receivers. They are really good at that. But this team also lost some pieces on defense. I don't think they will be as good. Um, they got a really good receiver, but they didn't do a good job of filling in um, the holes on defense. So I see a little bit of a regression for that team. It's time to start looking for Kirk Cousins' replacement. Maybe you resign Kirk Cousins to a short-term deal, but it's still time to start looking at his replacement. Then, last but not least, you know what it is: my Chicago Bears. Maybe I'm being a homer. Maybe I am, but I got the Bears winning this division. I give you a second to curse me out in the comments. Time's up. But yes, I got the Bears winning the division. Worst to first. I know this is typical Bears fan stuff. Maybe I'm being a meathead, whatever. But the addition of DJ Moore, you're giving Justin Fields a solid, solid weapon. You brought in a couple pieces, new pieces on the offensive line. You've completely revamped the defense. Yes, pass rush is still a problem, but that the back half, the secondary, and those linebackers, I think are top tier. Or will be top tier. And the defensive line is at least improved. You will have a better pass rush. Good, not great. But the improvements with and Justin Fields, I think, will be big. You bringing in Robert Tunyon, tight end, to go along with 𝓒𝓮 𝓁𝓸𝓻𝓮, who just recently re-signed. Chase Claypool had a really strong offseason, and Darnell Mooney is back healthy. I think the running game is going to be good. With Khalil Herbert was one of the best last year in terms of yards per carry, uh, as well as Deontay Foreman, who took over in Carolina after the trade of Christian McCaffrey, another guy who had one of the highest yards per carry averages. So I think the running game is going to be strong with the addition of the rookie Roschon Johnson as well. Um, yes, so I know it's hard to predict worst to first, but I'm doing it. I think this Bears team, this is a division that's wide open. Um, I think the division can be won with 10 games, 10 wins, and I believe that now that's at the high end of the expectations for the Bears, but I think they can do it. Everyone in this division has question marks, including the Bears, but I believe the sky is the limit for this team. Um, Justin Fields has proven himself as one of the most dynamic weapons in the league, and now you're giving him weapons. He pretty much led the entire offense by himself. He did everything, and even though their defense couldn't stop anything, they were he was averaging 30 points a game. That's not a small task. That is a big deal. And with a revamped defense, yes, I think this team can win the division. So that's my take for the NFC North. Get at me in the comments. Who do you got winning? Am I crazy in my logic? Moving on, I got the NFC South. The NFC South was probably the worst division into all of football last year, and it may be again. We'll see. There are some improvements. Carolina will be starting a rookie quarterback. The Atlanta Falcons are starting a second-year quarterback, but we still don't know a lot about him. But they got some really good pieces with Kyle Pitts and Drake London and rookie running back Bijan Robinson. It should be a fun team to watch. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, They lost Tom Brady and replaced him with Baker Mayfield, who a lot of people are down on. But hey, Baker Mayfield can win games, and I think he looked really good with the Rams down the stretch last year. So I don't think this team will be as bad as people are expecting. You still got Chris Goodwin, um, Chris Godwin, um, Mike Evans. Um, this team still has some pieces. Running back Rashad White figures to have a big year. Uh, defensive lineman, defensive tackle 𝓿𝓲𝓭𝓮. A lot of high hopes for him. Rookie out of Pittsburgh. Um, so this team, I can't say they will be improved because they lost Tom Brady. I don't think they will be improved. They will regress, but I don't think they'll be bottom of the barrel. They might be able to win a few games. Um, and then there's the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints. This is the team that I do project to win the division with newcomer Derek Carr. Um, and the weapons, even though Alvin Kamara is going to start the season suspended, they still got Jamal Williams that they brought in from Detroit, as well as rookie Kendre Miller from TCU. You got Chris Olave coming back. Michael Thomas is finally healthy. I think you'll see some improvements from this team. Yes, I got the New Orleans Saints winning the NFC South. Get at me in the comments what y'all think. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. But yeah, New Orleans. I like them a lot. Defense is improved. Well, not necessarily improved, but the defense is solid. But yeah, I think Carr will make a world of difference for this team. And then last but not least, the NFC West. The NFC West was once thought of as one of the toughest divisions in the league, and my have the mighty have fallen. Um, the LA Rams, just a couple seasons ago, they reached the pinnacle. They won a Super Bowl. The regression happened quick. And although I don't think they will be as bad this year as they were last year, I don't think they're in a position to compete for the division yet. Um, they might start selling off some of these pieces, I believe. Um, much respect to them. They won a championship. Uh, they gave up a lot of draft picks to get it done, and you're starting to see the other side. This will be an ugly rebuild for that team. Um, yeah. Moving on, the Arizona Cardinals, the same. They're in a rebuild now. Um, the quarterback Kyler Murray is starting the season off injured, still pupless. Um, so he's going to miss at least the first few games if they don't hold him out for more because they're tanking, which I think is real. I think they're doing everything possible to give themselves an opportunity to get Caleb Williams, and I think that they will win in that regard. Um, I do think Kyler Murray will be starting for a different team next season. Moving along, this is a team that I have a lot of high hopes for, a lot of expectations. I think this team will be very good, and I don't think they're getting enough credit. It's the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seattle Seahawks will have a big year coming up this season. Um, they made some really nice moves in the off season. Like rookie Jackson Smith and Jigba. Um, you got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. You brought in some help on the D line. You brought in the rookie corner out of Illinois, Devin Witherspoon. Um, yes, this team will be really, really good. I like them a lot. I like the running back Zach Charbonnet as well as Kenneth Walker. Yes, this team will be really good. But I got them coming up just short in the division, like with the NFC, like with the AFC South. I think they will be neck and neck. They will be battling back and forth, but I think they will ultimately fall to the San Francisco 49ers. They will repeat. They are just too good. They are loaded at almost all of the positions, and Brock Purdy, all he got to do is just not screw it up. And I don't think he will. I think he will shine. I think he will redeem um, Coach Shanahan in that aspect, in that regard. And I think they will win a division again. Yes, his defense will probably be the best in the league once again. And yes, this will be a strong team, a heavy championship contender. Um, Before I get out of here, the NFC wild cards. I got those Seattle Seahawks making it, along with the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. Yes, the Detroit Lions. Although I think they're going to line it up and fail in the division, I think they will do enough to make the playoffs with a wild card berth. And so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. There are my picks for this season, this NFL regular season. So tell me what you think. Get in those comments. Holla at your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all still hanging around, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I thank you. I appreciate you. Please like this video, share, and get in those comments. Holla at me. And don't forget to subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this is free, but all of these things helps make this show better. And it also helps get more eyes on the show with the YouTube algorithm. So help me out, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, from the On My Sports Show,